Come on, baby. Come back to me. Come on, internet. Come on. Jesus, what the fuck happened? Then something happened with my TV as well. Everything's just fucking turning off. I don't know what happened there. Something just went all crazy. I don't know if it kicked everybody offline or what happened, but and we're back. I don't know what the fuck happened there. I didn't actually end the stream. Just the internet froze. And I usually have pretty strong internet. I don't have Comcast over here. We have Frontier with Fios, so it's like 500 over 500 or better. And then the TV froze, and now my TV is fucking off. So I don't know what happened there. Internet froze. Come on, man. Killing me. Justin Wills, what it do? Lenny D, we're back. Too Fast 49, what up? Orion Pax, a.k.a. Optimus Prime, real name. Orion Pax, Transformers to the limit. What it do? Too Fast 49. Bang, bang. Niner gang in the building. Gosh, fucking internet. Hold on 1 second. Let me see if I can get my, at least NFL Network or something to come fucking back on. I had Good Morning Football all recorded, and I was out watching it. And then now everything is just like freezing up. I think it's all fucking connected here. Fucking stupid, man. Fucking internet. Man. Yeah, I know. You know what? That's crazy, though, because a lot of the fans have been telling me that for such a long time, that they'll even have all notifications or notifications of new videos or all notifications, and then they don't even get the notifications from YouTube. It's like they're sabotaging me. Like they don't want people to come to the channel when we go live. But eventually, if we go live long enough, if we go for an hour, 2 hours. Eventually, people will hop on YouTube and browse around, and then they'll see, oh shit, they're online. Just like some of your other favorite channels that you may watch. You know what I mean? But like I said, if you can go to your settings and then just go to all videos, you'll get the notifications, live streams, reaction videos. But like I said, my TV is still fucked up right now. It's still not working. I don't know what the fuck is going on. Someone did something in the living room. Damn it. Crazy. But Dak Prescott, obviously, with what we were talking about, and the Redskins, the cheerleaders, the scandal, it's very unfortunate with the 15 different women who were harassed. So we'll see what we get from that. And Dak Prescott wants the 4 years instead of the 5 years. So that's really the main situation that we have right now. He's banking on himself. And then Henry, 4 years, $50 million. Well deserved. They needed to be able to get Tannehill paid, Henry paid, and I still think that they're the favorites to win the AFC South. The Colts will give them a little bit of competition as well, but we'll see where it goes. Anything is possible, in the NFL, and that's facts. Washington cheerleader scandal, Dak Prescott, Derrick Henry, a reaction with your boy Ryan and the Northwest Sports Fanatics. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. Smash that like button either now or on your way out. Donate to your boy if you can, like Odin's Child did. And if you're looking for merch, Northwest Sports Fanatic merch, link is below every video on our YouTube page. So, fuck, man, that just killed the whole vibe with everything when all the other people that were in the room with my internet fucking just going down. And I thought it might have just cut the stream off completely, but at least it didn't there. I don't know, Troll Patrol. Like I said, I was recording, the fucking computer froze, my TV froze, which is all connected, Troll Patrol. I have no fucking idea. And I got good internet here. You know what I mean? It's the Frontier that got bought out by Ziply, so it's like 500 over 500. It's not like shitty Comcast or some of those other, cable companies' internet that's like 50 up and 1 down, or 50 down and 10, or 100 over 20, some bullshit like that. So hopefully I don't have any more issues moving forward, but yeah, it's a glitch in the Matrix. Man, Washington cheerleader scandal, Dak Prescott, Derrick Henry, with your boy Ryan and the Northwest Sports Fanatics. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. Smash that fucking like button either now or on your way out. Donate to your boy if you can. And if you're looking for merch, Northwest Sports Fanatic merch, link is below every video on our YouTube page. So I pretty much went over everything that I wanted to go over today. We have the scandal. We'll see with Dan Snyder. Will he get let go? Will they try to push him out? He's so powerful. He owns the team no matter how much pressure they put on him. I really don't think that you're going to see Snyder lose his position, for the ownership of the Washington Red Wolves, Red Tails, whatever they're going to be called in the future. He ain't going nowhere, and that's facts. And hopefully with everything that his organization not only just in the NFL, but other organizations, I just hope, that they can get kind of their shit together. Too Fast 49, so I wish I could donate, but I don't work yet. It's okay, man. You'll be able to donate once the NFL season starts, and everyone goes through tough times. Sometimes people are on unemployment. Sometimes people are working part time. Like for me, in the warehouse, the job that I was working through the temp agency, they finally hired me on full time, and I got a $2 raise, which was sweet. So I'm actually no longer with the temp agency. I was there from like March until about a week ago. And so you have to get like 600 hours or something of that nature before they decide to hire you on full time. And they offered me $1 more than what I was getting through the temp agency, but then I asked for $2 to see if they would give it to me, since I have, a lot more responsibilities. Instead of being in the warehouse, I have my own desk, a couple computer screens. I'm doing customer service. I'm on the phones. I'm doing returns. I'm handling all the fishing merchandise, rods and reels and baits. And it's like the biggest fishing warehouse in the United States here in Oregon that distributes not only on eBay, but with websites that they have on the internet as well. So it's pretty cool, man. I got a fan on me. I can watch, Good Morning Football. I can, multitask. I can take my lunch or my breaks whenever I want. I can wear jerseys to work. I can wear shorts to work. I can wear slides to work. I mean, the owner likes football too. So it's kind of cool. Like, you know what I mean? It's one of those things I've been grinding really hard on the channel and as well as with the job. So it looks like I got a little bit of stability at this point. Nike slides, they're not Nike slides. They're actually Under Armour slides, and they're the most comfortable slides that they're on the market right now. It's kind of crazy because I don't have any Under Armour apparel besides the slides. They match like my Buccaneer colors, are black and red, kind of on the top, and same thing with the Blazers or the helmets that you see right there. With the Chiefs and the Buccaneers. But I've had Nike ones, I've had Adidas ones, I've had a bunch of different kinds that have been out there. But if you get Under Armour slides, they have this like foam on the bottoms of them, and they are by far the best slides. I mean, they have like Jordan brand ones and these other ones. You're going to be paying for the name. Sir Luke in the building. Bang, $5. Just wanted to say, hey, great show, and who dat? Appreciate that, man. Love you. Appreciate you. You've been one of the supporters, grinding it out, enjoying the shows, donating. I love you. Appreciate you very much. Sir Luke in the building, Nyland Saints. And I was talking about them earlier, when we were talking about, the Saints and, their projection, how many wins. I'm thinking 11-13. AK-41, Alvin Kamara is underrated. Marshawn Lattimore, underrated. They're both sitting at 88s. They should both be at least 90s, right? And there's a lot of anticipation, trying to have Brees Brady and the rivalry matchup, for the next couple years. Four opportunities in 2 years. I'm excited. First game of the season in the Dome. Buccaneers, Tom Brady against Drew Brees and the Saints. I mean, does it get any better than that in week one? I mean, I don't even think that's going to be on local TV for me. So I might have to go to a friend's house, or I might do a live stream of another game and just have a friend record that game for me and watch it later. But I don't know if I can. I mean, that game is going to, unless I get NFL, the pass, and then I end up paying the money and I can watch it on my phone and then just do a live reaction from the game on my phone on the computer here, something like that. I got PS4, so I guess I could, go that route with Sunday Ticket on my phone. I imagine it'll cost like $200-300, but appreciate that. He said, love the grind. Appreciate it, man. I'm grinding. Bro, the Bucs are going to be so fun to watch. Yeah, I got to watch it, man. Especially that matchup. That's going to be literally the best matchup of the year, because if we win at home, the Super Bowl is in Tampa Bay this year, so there's a path for Brady to be able to do the unexpected, overachieve, get to the playoffs, and if you get to the NFC Championship and somehow you win, the Super Bowl is in Tampa Bay, and if you don't know, there's no home team that's ever won a Super Bowl in their stadium, right? And, of course, it's going to be a lot of corporate people, a lot of rich people. I would assume at that time they would have to have fans in the Super Bowl. I mean, imagine a Super Bowl with no fans. Imagine an NFC, AFC championship game with no fans. I haven't even thought that far ahead until just now. How weird that would be to be at home in the Super Bowl, Bucs Chiefs, Bucs Ravens, and have no fans. You really would have to be mentally strong to be able to find a way. So, and like I said, I'm not anticipating Tampa Bay even making the NFC Championship game. I do think, and I'm confident, we're going to make the playoffs this year and next year with Brady. But do I think that, we're going to be better than the Saints in the regular season wins-wise? No. Do I think that the Saints are going to win the NFC South? Yes. But I don't think it's going to be a huge gap where they win like 14 games and the Bucs win 9. You know what I mean? I think it's going to be a little bit closer. Maybe 12 wins for the Saints, 10 for the Bucs, 13 wins for the Saints, maybe 10 or 11 for the Bucs. But I think that as long as we stay healthy with the majority of the core, it's a possibility. And if the Saints get banged up and Brees misses a few games and Jameis or Taysom Hill goes in and they have some struggles, the Bucs could maybe leapfrog them, and maybe Bucs win 11 and the Saints win 10. I mean, I don't know. I mean, anything is possible in the NFL. But I want both teams to get into the dance. I want to see Seahawks, Niners, Packers. I want to be able to see new teams, if possible, the Cardinals, the Rams, the Lions. I would love to see those teams make the playoffs somehow, some way. Would be great for the NFL to be able to get some of the bottom feeders to rise to the top, which is great. Same thing goes in the AFC. But I'd like to see the Bills finally take over the AFC East. Pittsburgh, revenge tour, Big Ben. 2020. I'd like to be able to see him have a great season as well. So there's a lot of aspects in the game, and we don't know what we're going to get from Denver, the Raiders, the Browns with Baker and that improved offensive line, the Bengals, Miami. So you never know. I'm excited, though. It's going to be an amazing year. So let me go back up here and acknowledge everyone. I can't believe my fucking internet and my TV cut out. That fucking killed everything. You know what I mean? It's like when you're in the moment, it's like you're in the game and you're trying to just have the flow of a show or you're in the game and you're feeling hot. You've made 3 shots in a row, for basketball, or you just scored a touchdown and then there's like a blackout, like in the Super Bowl with the Niners and Ravens, or something happens where you're just like, fuck, and then now you got to kind of reset and get organized again. Sir Luke, bang, another $5. Appreciate you, my guy. So I love my Saints, but Brady should have went to another division. His arm scares me because I truly believe it's a lot stronger than Brees' arm. I do too. And I don't think Brees' arm is weak, but I don't think Saints fans really want to admit it, but they don't like the idea of having to go through the Bucs and Brady these next couple years, because Brady's window is closing, but so is his Brees' window. Drew Brees. You know what I mean? And it's going to be tough. But at least if you play each other, you'll be battle tested. So, you'll just like any other NFC team. And it might not even matter. If the Bucs, the Saints, Seahawks, the Eagles, the Packers, Cowboys, all these different teams, if they end up getting to the playoffs, if we end up playing against Chiefs or Ravens, those teams might smash whoever they're playing in the Super Bowl, or come back to win like we saw the Chiefs last year. So I'm not really too confident, in really the NFC teams. I think the NFC teams are going to be very close to each other, and they're going to be good, but I think that the Ravens and Chiefs are kind of on that great level. So I don't know. We're going to have to kind of wait and see with injuries and everything else. Calvin Griffin, bang, $1.99. Appreciate that. Ain't never been scared of Brady, Calvin Griffin says. Well, you're a Saints fan. I get it. You know what I mean? But like I said, it's going to make you a little uneasy, regardless of how confident you are in your Saints. Things haven't really worked out the way that they should have in the last 3 years. They have addressed those problems with the offensive line and gotten better. So it was more of like crazy play, Minneapolis Miracle, horrible officiating in the non-pass interference call against the Rams, right? And then just getting outplayed by Danielle Hunter and Everson Griffin and having Andrews Pete and Warford get fucking lit up, right? And then you lost because Brees didn't have enough time to go through his progressions. But then you ended up getting McCoy from A&M, Ruiz from Michigan, right? Andrews Pete, I'm not sure if I really like him getting re-signed with the extension, but, they're going in the right direction. They could have went for a guy like Jefferson from LSU, but, addressing the O-line while Brees is still there, that's going to be the best shot that you have to be able to get to the NFC Championship game. And you got Emmanuel Sanders. You don't even need Jefferson. You know what I mean? You got Michael Thomas, Jared Cook. You're good. So I'm excited to see where it goes. All right, let's see here. Justin Wills in the building. Lenny D in the building. Too Fast 49 in the building. Troll Patrol, A Guy, Raiders in the building. Zachary's in the building. He says, I hope it's Red Wolves. I hope it is too. Ron Rivera seems to be helping a lot. He's a great coach, man. I absolutely love him. Calvin Griffin, bang, another $1.99. Let's see what Calvin Griffin's comment is now. Something Saints related. Oh, nothing. Nothing. There's no comment there. Just a $1.99 just for being Calvin Griffin. Love you, brother. Appreciate you very much. Normally there's a Saints comment attached to every comment with Calvin, so appreciate you, my guy, very, very much. All right, so Red Wolves. Let's see here. Too Fast 49. He sees Orion getting the cheddar. You see me grinding, working hard. Damn right. Let's see here. Say, that's good, man. It sucks being through a temp agency. A guy says Raiders. But you know what? I was really blessed that the temp agency was there, because when COVID hit, there wasn't a lot of opportunities for jobs. So I ended up, just trying to think about, okay, do I want to work at like a Fred Meyers or a Costco or a Winco where I can get a job, but I'm at high risk to get COVID? No. I mean, it could have been a job I got, but I didn't want to go to something like that. And physical labor and some of the other jobs that I was doing was tough. So to be in a warehouse and to work with like fishing rods and lures and reels and baits and stuff, that was a little bit more my wheelhouse. And then I got promoted, and then they moved me to the office. So now I do customer service. I do orders for the good old boys, the country boys, that call in from like Bama and North Carolina, Alaska, and they need help with, ordering stuff on the internet. So I do that and talk to them, and they're fun to talk to. You know what I mean? Just good old boys. I just love to be outdoors and camp and fish, which is cool. And then I do like returns and, and we'd have like a reply manager, replying to all the emails of the customers for, different things issues that they have. So it's nice. I got a fan on me. I got no dress code. I can wear jerseys, shorts. I mean, shit, I could rock the chain tomorrow. I could wear what I'm wearing right now to work. And I've been wearing jerseys the last couple days. What did I wear? I wore a Griffey, and then a King Griffey Jr. jersey. Then I wore a Justin Herbert jersey. Then I wore, what did I wear today? Derrick Brooks Buccaneers jersey from the Super Bowl year, 2002. And then maybe tomorrow will be LaMichael James, or maybe DeAnthony Thomas for my Ducks, maybe a Griffey, maybe a Damian Lillard. His birthday was just very recently. So it's cool. I like it, man. It's a lot of hard work, but it's cool that they seen the potential. And it's really ironic that one of the other bosses there, he's got a YouTube channel, and he does like motocross. And he was always helping with like editing with like motocross and stuff. And I think his channel that he helped with was at like 40,000 subscribers. So then when he found out that, we do Northwest Sports Fanatics and we're almost at 20,000 subscribers and over 3 million views, he was like, wow. Because I mean, it's not very often that you meet another YouTuber or someone that's involved in YouTube, either doing a show or editing, or you're some way involved in a YouTube channel that is successful. So I was just like blown away, because when you see him, you wouldn't expect maybe this guy to be involved. He didn't look like maybe like a prototypical YouTuber type guy, because he's not a guy that's on the mic, but he helped with like editing and whatnot and that process. So I was like, we already had that kind of bond right there. And then the main boss too likes football, and we talk football all the time. And they told me today that I can't be a part of the fantasy football league for the office because I'm going to be too good. It'll be cheating. And I told them that I can charge them like, a fee for each week if they want help, which is something I actually might end up doing, charging like $5 a month. You know what I mean? If you want help throughout the 3-month, 4-month season, which I think is very reasonable. If you end up wanting advice, who to start, who to get, who to put on your bench, who to get on the waiver wire, I imagine I could probably make some pretty good donations with that, because obviously, as you guys know, I mean, I'm one of the hardest working YouTubers out there with NFL coverage. And for fantasy football, I mean, I can get your team in the top 3 in almost every season that I help people. People will give me bottles or merch, money, when they end up winning. And a lot of the leagues, it's like 150 buy-in, 200 buy-in, first place is like 1,500. So, I mean, this is no fucking around. I mean, this is like first place, like 1,200, second place, like 500, third place like 150 or 200. So it's not like you're just doing it for shits and giggles, just for fun. When you're in a league, that shit matters. So you're waking up early on the waiver wire. You're making changes every week. You're making sure your bench is good as your starters. You're going through all the different bye weeks. You're looking at the schedule ahead of time to make sure you don't pick players that have the same bye week. You have to go through all those different factors if you really want to be successful to make a championship game almost every year. And I definitely, have kind of a method to drafting as well, method to the madness. So definitely excited. But I guess the guys at work, they don't want any part of it unless I help them, or I'm the ringer, and maybe I help some other people, and that's facts. Bucs are going to be so fun to watch this season, Too Fast 49 says. Man, yeah, I can't wait, man. And it's the most excitement I've had for my Buccaneers in like shit. I mean, the last time they made the playoffs was 2007. So that's a lot. Like Jeff Garcia. So that's like literally the last time I was excited for Tampa Bay football. Fuck, that's a long time ago. You feel me? Long time ago. 13, 14 years ago. Seems like fucking ages ago. And that's facts. What time is the Saints-Bucs game? I think it's going to be on at like 1 o'clock, unless they shift it to like a 10 a.m. start. But I think it's going to be an afternoon game, I believe. A-Guy Raiders got the removable field going at the stadium. I thought that was cool. Yeah, I have seen some film on the Raiders and what's anticipated for their location in Vegas. And if I could end up going to a game at some point in the next couple seasons, I would love to go to Vegas, never been, to actually see them in person. See Gruden, my guy that won the Super Bowl for me. See Mariota, if he's still there, my Oregon Ducks, represent, to the fullest. But that stadium is going to have everything. It's going to have all the new high-tech, Wi-Fi. It's going to have the new high-tech seating. It's going to have all the craziness that you would expect from a new NFL stadium, which you're not going to really see too many in the next few years. So I definitely want to make a road trip at some point. I would love to see like Raiders-Chiefs. I think that would be like my number one matchup that I would want to see if I ended up going to Vegas, and that's facts. Lenny D says, Saints and Bucs game better be interesting. It better not be one-sided. Fuck, ain't going to be no one-sided. Come on. Bang! $10. Sir Luke. Let me go up the Otson. Okay, baby. Let's go. Oregon through and through. Bang! $10. Thank you, man. Sir Luke. Nolans Saints. Love you. Appreciate you. Very generous, my guy. And, I work hard and put in the time and the effort, and it's just great to be able to have such loyal fans like you guys. I think about Northwest Sports Fanatics, in the morning. I think about it when I'm at work. I think about it, when I'm off work and it's the evening and I'm watching NFL Total Access, Good Morning Football. When I'm going to bed, I'm thinking about it. In my dreams, I'm thinking about it. It's really the main thing in my life. And, to be able to love something as much as I do with NFL and sports, and to be able to talk about it, and then to be able to vibe with people like you guys, the Fanatic family, and then also to be able to get the love and the comments of how much they love this channel. You guys like this is one of your favorite channels. You're willing to not only like it, smash the like button, love it, subscribe to it, turn your notifications on for it. But then on top of that, to be able to donate, out of your debit card, your hard-earned money, regardless if it's from unemployment, your job, or your mom or dad or whoever, that's a lot of love because, if you go to other channels, I really feel that the love on this channel is a lot higher because, I talk real life shit too, depression and addiction and all kinds of other stuff. I don't really leave any stone unturned, but we can be real and talk football, and you guys see my passion and you guys see my energy. And then I feel that when I watch sometimes other channels, you'll see like $1 donation, $2, sometimes you'll see like a $5. But I feel with our channel, the love from the fans, $1, $2, $5, $10, $20, $50, $100. It just blows me away, and it makes me feel so good that the hard work and the energy and the game film and the preparation and all the reading, the 6-7 hours a day, and the game film and all that equates to you guys recognizing, the hard work and the passion and the talent. And I, love talking football with you guys because, what I mean, when we were doing it on Facebook, we would only get like 100 to maybe 300 views on a video. The friends that we had didn't support us. They didn't think that, we would make it. They just, these are the guys that, we drink and smoke and drink beers with, party with, play beer pong with. They're not going to make it, whatever. They didn't realize how smart, me and Marcus are, or how much preparation and time that we have, how talented, we are as far as NFL and sports is concerned. And then, to shift over to YouTube when we lost our jobs, and then start the channel in 2017, and to see where we're at now, at almost 20,000 subscribers and breaking 3 million views, more than 3 million views, and we're still growing and growing. I just want to say a special thank you, to every single person that's in the room now, every single person that donated, any single person that just tuned in, made a comment, people that will end up watching this later, and after the live stream is over. Thank you guys. I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. We're gonna be in for a wild football season, and you guys are the best fans. Period. Sir Luke, $5. Sir Luke, $5. Calvin Griffin, $2. Calvin Griffin, $2. Sir Luke, bang, $10. so much love from you guys, you know what I mean? And it just makes me feel so good, because sometimes you'll see other channels and I'll see them and they get promoted and pushed by YouTube, where they'll have 100 people in the room, 1,000 people in the room, or they'll do a video and they'll have 10,000 people that watched it, or 5,000, and they're getting pushed by YouTube. Kind of like we got pushed in the first couple years. They're not really pushing us anymore. But then they don't really get the same kind of donations and the comments like we do here. So it really touches me in my heart, and a way where I'm like, it makes me feel really good to be a part of a family like you guys, where you guys are just like me and Marcus, that we love sports, we love the NFL, wrestling, NBA, MLB, whatever it is, and we can come out here and just hang out and talk. We can watch TV, NFL Network together. I can do a live play-by-play and reaction, 1 game, 2 games, 3 games in a day, college football, whatever it is. But I just want to say thank you, love you guys, and I appreciate you guys, very, very much. Calvin Griffin says, he ain't overachieving when they put y'all in the Super Bowl already. We'll see. Saints Bucs will be interesting. I have a feeling that the Bucs are going to surprise a lot of people this year and next year. And like I said, I really feel that the playoffs for the Bucs these next 2 years are very possible. Why not? Brady's there, right? I got a great receiving core. Defense is pretty intact. We're going to get better. And the main thing that the people are sleeping on is the Tampa Bay Buccaneers secondary. I'm telling you, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers secondary is not getting a whole lot of looks. But when you actually look at the names, they don't seem familiar at all. But I guarantee this season, at least one corner or safety is going to break out. Maybe more than one, and you're going to be like, wow, they really got something together there. Because everyone talks about JPP, Pierre-Paul, Ndamukong Suh, Shaq Barrett, obviously with the 19.5 sacks leading the NFL, and getting him to come back. Devin White, that got a little bit banged up from LSU, amazing linebacker, amazing leader. He's going to show out. Levante David, my favorite player in the league since he's come in from Nebraska. My kind of Derrick Brooks, 2.0, not as good as a Derrick Brooks, but he's one of those guys that I absolutely love his effort, and he always brings it from game to game. I'm excited. I'm a defensive guy, and the offense is going to be nice, but I'm excited to see really what the defense can do if they can kind of hold their own as well. So Zachary Kodesh says, new to the channel. Watch you guys react to Iowa murdering OSU. Glad to be here. Whoa. Okay, I remember doing that video, and we ended up doing some college football. Sometimes there's some restrictions on copyright, but I'll probably try to get back into doing some more college football reactions, but I got to be able to find another partner like Highlight Heaven, who's my boy, and some of these other channels that are out there. If they can do highlight packages, obviously I don't need to put my ads on there, and we can work together, and that way I can, put out more reaction videos for college football, because I absolutely loved, doing Iowa, Ohio State, the U, Oregon Ducks. It's just a matter of being able to find, partners that I can link up with, where they're not going to block my video. You know what I mean? If anything, I shout out that other channel. And if you can build out a relationship and help sub to their channel and you build a relationship, then I can probably put out quite a few college football reaction videos and live streams. That was one of the funnest times a couple years back when we did that. Hopefully at some point I can earn your sub if you haven't subbed to the channel yet, Zachary. We have almost 1,000 videos in the library, from soccer, football, Ronaldo, Messi, to rugby, to MLB, to NBA, to WWE, to AEW, to NBA, college basketball, college football, NFL. So, if you ever get bored, go through the library. I think you'll be definitely entertained, and hopefully one day that we get the sub from you if you haven't done it already. You can smash the like button, and maybe, who knows, maybe I'll end up getting a donation from you at some point or another. That would be awesome. But welcome to the channel. We love to have you. And I want you to comment below, Zachary, even though I probably already know what it is. Who is your favorite NFL team? Who do you represent? Even though I know you've made comments earlier in the stream, let everyone know in the room who your favorite NFL team is. So that way I kind of get to know every single person that's in the room. Because most of the time, if I know your icon or I know your tag name, I know a lot about you, just based on the past history with the people that come to the room. We got a lot of fans that love to come back and end up hanging out. Too Fast 49. Oh, Ryan, I know you a sports channel, but you got to watch all the Bucs games. I know, right? But I gotta be there for the fans too. So I mean, if there's a chance where my game isn't televised and I can have a friend record it, and then I can do a live stream with an awesome matchup, whatever that matchup ends up being, Saints 49ers or, Buffalo Bills and the Patriots or whatever it is. I want to be able to do as many live streams and reaction videos. I still want to watch all my Bucs games as well, but I'm committed to the channel. So as long as I can end up watching it later, I don't mind sacrificing watching it live if it's not on TV for me here. I love the fans, and I love football. It's more than just the Buccaneers that I love. I love all the teams, and I love all the matchups. I love rivalries. Bears, Packers, Niners, Seahawks. There's just so many matchups. Saints, Buccaneers. Normally it's Falcons, Saints, and then Buccaneers, Panthers, Giants, and the Eagles. Eagles and the Cowboys. Cowboys and the Redskins. Eagles and the Cowboys, Eagles and the Redskins. There's so many matchups that I could just fire off. Denver and the Raiders, KC and the Raiders, KC and Denver. There's just so many matchups, throughout the season that I love and I always think about and anticipate watching. So, but I'm definitely going to keep grinding it out. Zach says, damn, no fans at the Super Bowl. That would suck. Yeah, for real. Honey Dip in the building. Who dat? You dat. Nolans Saints in the building. And obviously we come up with a lot of original nicknames and catchphrases. A lot of people copycat us, on big networks and other YouTube channels. But that's flattery, I guess, for the originality that we bring to the show and the YouTube channel. So, I guess that's the biggest form of flattery when people copy you. People copy your stuff, so... Too Fast 49 says, Zachary, welcome to the best sports channel everywhere on fucking YouTube. The best ever, the Northwest Sports Fanatics. Bang, bang, Niner gang. Love you, appreciate you. TV money still rolling in through. Of course, man. A guy, the fan base is great. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter if I got 5 people in the room or 5,000. You know what I mean? The love for the channel's authentic and real, and I love them back. Love you guys. The Cards are looking good. Damn right they are. So I love my Saints, but Brady should have went to another division. His arm scares me because I truly believe it's a lot stronger than Brees' arm. Sir Luke, that's facts. And you know what? I'm not a big Brady guy. I'm not a big Gronk guy. I've never been. You know what I mean? I'm a guy that was a Tampa Bay Buccaneer fan, right? I'm a Oregon Ducks fan, right? As you know, right? Through and through. Blazers, Rip City. Mariners, Dodgers for my dad. Mariners because I met Ken Griffey Jr., when I was a kid, when he was a rookie. Got his autograph, met him. Still have pictures with Griffey Sr. So the Mariners and Randy Johnson and Ichiro, Edgar Martinez are very close to my heart, right? And then the Dodgers, obviously, for my dad because he grew up in L.A. That's his favorite team. But those are the teams I represent. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers, the Oregon Ducks, the Portland Trail Blazers, Seattle Mariners, Los Angeles Dodgers. But when you were an outsider looking in and you saw Tom Brady and Gronk, you know what I mean? You respect them, but it's just like, when guys are on the Cowboys. People that are on the Cowboys or the Patriots, those were kind of players that are kind of frowned upon if you're not a fan of the Cowboys or the Patriots. You recognize the talent. I know Zeke's great. I always respected Tony Romo. I loved Aikman and Emmitt Smith and Michael Irvin, right? But I was a Niner kid growing up. So if I wasn't necessarily a Tampa Bay Buccaneer fan, I would be a San Francisco 49er fan. Because it was Joe Montana, Jerry Rice, John Taylor, Tom Rathman, Roger Craig, Merton Hanks, Dion. My favorite Dion of all time is 94 Dion when he was with the Niners. Not so much with the Falcon Dion, right? Not the Baltimore Ravens Dion, not the Redskins Dion, not the Cowboys Dion, even though that's a famous one. But that 94 San Francisco 49er with Steve Young when he got the monkey off his back. That was probably one of my favorite teams of all time besides the Joe Montana championship years like 81, 84, 88, 89, 4 Super Bowls, too early, too late. I'm a Joe Montana guy through and through. I'm a Jerry Rice guy through and through. So if I wasn't a defensive-oriented guy, if I was like everyone else, I would be a San Francisco 49er fan today. That's the team that I rooted for up until I was probably about 12 years old, 13 years old. But then when Derrick Brooks got drafted from Florida State, right, and Warren Sapp got drafted from the U in 95 when I was 13, John Lynch was already there. I was like, yeah, this is for me. And I decided that's going to be my team forever, even though I love the Niners and I still root for them. But the Bucs and that defense, and then they got Rondé Barber, then they got Simeon Rice, and then they had Mike Allstott. I kind of fell in love with Mike Allstott and Simeon Rice and Warren Sapp and Derrick Brooks. But for me, it was really Derrick Brooks, number 1, Warren Sapp, 2, right? All-Stott 3, John Lynch 4, Rondé Barber 5. I mean, that was the core. Those the Hall of Famers, you know what I mean? You're never going to be able to replicate talent like that ever again. That's why they were so dominant. And then adding Simeon Rice and Jon Gruden, that was just icing on the cake. And I had Tony Dungy, to kind of build the roster too, and Monty Kiffin, D coordinator. So, I mean, I've been blessed, even though they've sucked for a lot of years, but being a fan and sticking with it. Now I got Tom Brady and Gronk, and, now I'm relevant again. So I'm super excited. But I still think the Saints are better. I can say all I can say, and be, one of those guys that's just, overly confident or cocky or just talk shit about every other team except mine and be delirious like Skip, right? Like Skip Bayless. But I'm not, that's why this channel has grown so much. I just call it right down the middle, and I root for the Saints. I've rooted for them all last season because I like to see greatness win. I like to see Brees go out on top, and walk into the sunset and get another ring. I'd like to see Aaron Rodgers walk into the sunset and get another ring. I like to see Russell Wilson, before his career's over, get to another Super Bowl and win another ring. But the problem is with the Chiefs, right, and with the Ravens, they're so fucking good. I don't know if any other teams are going to be able to get championships in the next few years with those two teams being as good as they are and built for long-term success the way that they are. I mean, there's going to be some NFC teams that end up winning a championship in between the Ravens and Chiefs, but there's not going to be a lot. Like in the next 6 years, if I had to put money on it, I would probably say 4 or 5 of the 6 years, it's going to be won by an AFC team. And you're going to get 1 or 2 championships, maybe from an NFC team. And if that does happen, it'll probably be because the Chiefs or Ravens are not there. If it's a different team that's there, like the Bills or the Steelers, it might be a team that's a little bit more beatable. And then the Saints can take advantage, or the Packers or the Seahawks or whoever it is, the Eagles, whoever ends up getting there. That's just kind of how I feel the way. But, it's year to year, week to week. We'll see what happens. But I'm really excited for Brees Brady. I don't know if I have felt this excitement about my team, in such a long time. I think this is the most excitement I've had since they drafted Derrick Brooks and Warren Sapp. And then when they went to their first NFC championship game with Sean King and they fell short to the greatest show on turf with the Rams, right? With Kurt Warner, Torrey Holt, Isaac Bruce, Marshall Faulk. That was something else. Adam Archuleta, I can throw out names for days. Right, and they fell short because they just couldn't score points because you had fucking Sean King at quarterback. But then to get Brad Johnson and then to get Jon Gruden and then Joe Jurevicius, Keyshawn, to have him come over, Keenan McCardell, Ken Dilger at tight end. I mean, God, they had a nice roster. I mean, if you think about that. Brad Johnson, who was a journeyman, you know what I mean? And he wasn't anything special, right, with the Vikings and the Redskins, right? But with Gruden, he turned him into an animal. He was very accurate. If you go and look at his stats for that Super Bowl year, Brad Johnson was a fucking animal. And the playbook was insane. It was like 15 to 20 words. XY jet, 7-9 flank, Henry left on 2, and then that was like one play, and then you would have to audible and then say another like fucking 12 words like spider 2Y banana and all that other shit that Gruden did. I mean, it was the most complex wording of plays I've ever heard in my entire life, except for maybe McVay or Kyle Shanahan nowadays. But back then with Gruden, I mean, it was crazy because each 4 words or so was like a route for each wide receiver. So, I mean, if you have 16 words, that's like 1 for the running back, 1 for, the slot, 1 for the deep guy on the right. It was crazy. And so you had Brad Johnson, you had Allstott, you had Michael Pittman, Ken Dilger at tight end, right? You had Keyshawn and Keenan McCardell and Joe Jurevicius. And those 3 guys weren't great wide receivers, but Keyshawn and Keenan McCardell were good. And Joe Jurevicius was really underrated for being 6'5" and being that big, target that no one really took for. I think a lot of people took him for granted. They didn't realize how great Joe Jurevicius was for those few 3-4 seasons, and then after he left, went to Seattle and had some success there as well. And then with the defense, I mean, Sapp and Booker McFarland, even though he's horrible at announcing, and Shelton Quarles, he made a Pro Bowl. Dexter Jackson with the 2 picks, Brian Kelly, Rondé Barber, all the pieces there. I mean, they had so many. So, I mean, I'm never going to have a team like that ever again. But, it's good memories for me, to stick with the team. But I'm really anticipating some great football, not only with the Buccaneers, but the league. I'm excited to see Baker succeed. I'm excited to see Bills Mafia finally win the AFC East. I want to see Joe Burrow dominate. I want to see Tua Tagovailoa rip it up for Miami. You know what I mean? And build a legacy there. I want Justin Herbert to finally lead the Chargers at some point. I want to see Chase Young. and to bring it, and win Defensive Rookie of the Year. I want to see Isaiah Simmons, do his thing for the Cardinals and bring someone besides Chandler Jones and Budda Baker some respect on his name. You know what I mean? Because you're going to get it on the offensive side with Kyler Murray, but the defense besides Chandler Jones and Budda Baker, they need that Isaiah Simmons, that guy, that can really make a name for himself. So a lot of things, I follow every single team. I go to every team website every day. You know what I mean? It's one thing to have a channel for just like the Buccaneers, but to follow every single NFL team, all 32, on top of MLB, NBA, college football, college basketball, wrestling. I mean, think about how much reading and tape that I'm watching. I mean, it's almost mind-blowing to me sometimes, but I love it, and I've been this way since I was 5. So it's one of those things when you love something like that, it's just a part of you. It's a part of who you are, being a fanatic, and that's why a lot of us have gone through the ups and downs through COVID, because we miss our sports. It's a release. To be able to, if work is not going good, or relationships or family or, friendships, things, drama, whatever it is, you can end up watching your team play on Saturday or Sunday or during the week. And then for a couple hours, you can forget about reality, kind of like playing Call of Duty or playing video games or Fortnite or 2K or Madden, and just feel good. You know what I mean? That you're just, in the moment, at that time. And I think sports really brings people together. Every race, every color, every age, we all have something in common. So I love you guys, and I appreciate you guys very much. Red Wolves will shock the world going 19-0. They ain't going to go 19-0, but I am excited for them. Washington, hailstorms, no red anything, guy. Well, I don't know. I like the Red Wolves. That's the one that really, it really has a nice ring to it to me. So Sir Luke says, I agree. Lenny D, fly, Eagles fly, my boy. Jameson Mesa in the building. Just don't think that the Chiefs are just going to take over the AFC because the Titans don't back down from anybody at all. Sounds like you're a Titan fan. They're built for success too, the Titans. I love Tannehill, and I'm not sure if you're a fan of the channel or you're new, but that was my number one option for Tampa Bay to get, Ryan Tannehill. And then Tom Brady was 2. Out of all those quarterbacks that were available in free agency, I love Ryan Tannehill. He's got great delivery, great footwork. He's a great leader. Had some issues with adversity, getting injured and bouncing around from team to team. But from a guy that played wide receiver at Texas A&M and transitioned into a quarterback, he earned his payday. And I love him. I think he's one of the most underrated quarterbacks in the NFL. Most people would put him in the middle of the pack, like maybe 15th or 16th overall. But to me, he plays like a top 10 quarterback, a lot. He may not be a top 10, but he plays like a top 10. And then you got Derrick Henry there, A.J. Brown, obviously with him and DK Metcalf and Scary Terry McLaurin. He proved that he was the best wide receiver last season, even though Scary Terry McLaurin is amazing. DK Metcalf is amazing. He'll have a breakout year this year. He had too many drops last year from Russell Wilson. Tyler Lockett made up for it, but DK can get better. But A.J. Brown proved to me that he was the best wide receiver overall, with all the stats, all the yards, all the receptions, the touchdowns. Not by a lot. Not a lot over Scary Terry McLaurin or DK Metcalf. But A.J. Brown is severely underrated. And some people know his greatness, and others will know as the season goes on and for years to come. And the defense is nice, too. And I like their coaching staff. They got everything there to be able to compete with the Chiefs, right, and the Ravens, and the Buffalo Bills. I feel that those 4 teams and the Pittsburgh Steelers, those are like the main 5 in the AFC that will be able to beat each other up. And I think the Steelers and the Bills and the Titans have a lot in common. Defense is good, right, for all 3 of those teams. Offense, underrated for all 3 of those teams, and good coaching from 3 of those teams. So they may not be the Ravens or they may not be the Chiefs, but they definitely have a chance to upset those 2 teams, with the rosters that those 3 teams have, the Steelers, the Bills, and the Titans. That's facts. I watch a lot of tape. He says, again, never been scared of Brady, Calvin Griffin. Maybe this year. Maybe this will be the year, my guy. You never know. Too Fast 49 says, I feel like the Browns are going to surprise team to make the playoffs. I think there's a chance. Kevin Stefanski looks like he can get them back on track. The main reason I like him, right, is because of the offensive line has been improved. Not Baker Mayfield, not Odell Beckham dyeing his hair fucking blonde, right, and going, I want to kill everybody and go crazy. Not Jarvis Landry, right, not Njoku because he wants out, right, not Austin Hooper coming from the Falcons, which will be a good check down guy for Baker. Not Myles Garrett going crazy and hitting people with the helmet and getting his cheddar and getting that large contract with all those millions and millions of dollars, or Denzel Ward or any of the pieces, right? It's the offensive line, right? Getting Wills from Bama, smart pick. Jack Conklin from the Titans is a huge loss and a huge gain for the Browns. Huge loss for the Titans. Ryan Tannehill and Derrick Henry, Jack Conklin. You still got Taylor Lewan there, but you had two. You had Lewan and Conklin. Conklin, to me, is one of the most amazing offensive linemen in this whole entire NFL, and now he's on the Browns. So they got two studs now on the offensive line. There's no excuses. So in the next year or two, I would anticipate the Browns making the playoffs as well. But look at that division, though. Joe Burrow, at some point, they're going to pop off once they start building their O-line and defense and maybe get a new coach, right? The Ravens are solid. Big Ben revenge tour with the Steelers. I mean, there's not a lot of wiggle room for the Browns. I mean, that's a solid division in a couple years where all the teams are going to be like super competitive, like the lowest amount of wins in a couple years for all those teams in the AFC North will be like 7. It's going to be like 7-9 for the worst team, and then like 14-2 for like the best team. I mean, I really think it's going to be like that heavy, and that stacked 7-9, 9-7, 10-6, and then 13-3. I mean, that's really kind of destined that way for the talent that's in that AFC North. It's going to be a really fun division to watch, not only now but in the future as well, and that's facts. Let's see here. Hey guys, how Marcus doing? Well, I don't talk to him too much. He's out in Salem. He's working from home. Like I said, once the NFL season starts rolling through, I imagine he'll try to drive out and come out and be able to do as many videos as he can. And if, he's busy with his girlfriend, responsibilities with work or other shit that he's got going on, I'm still going to grind it out and record, but he'll come through during football season. And I imagine we'll try to do as many Sunday night football, Monday night football, and Thursday night football games together. He might not be able to do some of the other ones because he's going to want to watch his Redskins, and I'm going to want to watch my Bucs and do other things as well. But he'll definitely be in the building at some point or another. That's facts. Too Fast 49 says, yeah, man, I need to get on the grind like Orion. I need to start editing videos and start uploading again. You do, man. And the thing is I got a full-time job, so it's like when I'm doing my thing, it's tough. It's like one of those things where it's like when I'm recording, bro, sometimes you get to a point where you think you have no energy or you're just tired, but when you really think about it, it's all excuses, because if I wake up at like 5, 6 in the morning and then I get off at 4 and I'm just ready to, sit down in the AC in the bedroom and like turn on NFL Network or Good Morning Football or Total Access or play on my phone and, go on articles for Bleacher or go on Twitter, which I love. It's my favorite app. I love Twitter. If you guys don't have Twitter, you should get on it. It's better than Facebook or Instagram. Great for news, great for film, great just finding information from every source in one spot. Twitter. I absolutely love it. I think I have like 50,000 retweets since I've started in 2013, and a lot of it's just stories that I like to retweet to the fans so they can go to my page, and instead of having to bounce around from Bleacher, ESPN, and all these different apps, you can just go to my feed and you'll see like 20 stories of the day or the main, highlights or whatever it is from, what's popping off in sports. It's exciting, man. I just like to be able to do that, but when you grind and you love something, you put your love and your energy into something, a lot of it's mental, and how much you love it. If you have the love for something and you would do it for free and, then it's something that's real. If you only do something for money, then it's not going to last a long time. It's like people that are trying to get, be a fad or, be someone that's just like a get rich quick or just like a scheme, to be internet famous. If you're just trying to be internet famous and it's not going to be anything long term, but for me, this is something that's very important to me and I want to give back, to the community as well and open up my own, YouTube studio here to make other people's dreams come true. So it's more than just me, getting this channel to 20,000 subscribers, 30, 40, 50, 100,000, going from 3 million, 5 million, 10 million views, right? Or being rich or famous or linked to a network like NFL Network. And that would be all great and all, our Vice channel, you know what I mean? But I want to be able to, leave a legacy behind, you know what I mean? For football fanatics and fanatics in general of sports, to be able to leave a legacy behind and, have people remember me for how I treated them, how I was there, but also to be able to be real and, just be able to go somewhere where you can be honest and be yourself and just talk sports and life and just hang out, you know what I mean? It's like a lot of people nowadays are just so fake and just so much bullshit. It's just kind of refreshing, when you can hang out with people that love the same things that you do and you can just hang out and talk and enjoy sports together. The passion and the energy it shows, through the screen, and obviously the comments and the donations and everything that you guys do and the subscribers it shows on your guys' end as well. So I love you guys and I appreciate you guys. And Too Fast 49, get back to it, man. I'll support you. I'll grind with you. You know what I mean? You need any help or, anything, I'll be there. I always support every single, fanatic that's on the Fanatic family. If they got a Facebook, page or a YouTube channel or Instagram page that they're doing for like fantasy football, whatever it is, as long as you love it and it makes you happy, go for it, grind for it. Life is short, make something. Make something happen. Anyone can, go out into the bars or watch TV or play games on your phone. I mean, you can do that anytime. You know what I mean? But if you got something that's important to you, go after it. Got to work for it. It's not going to be easy, but if it was easy for everyone, everyone would do it. So obviously that's why it's, one of those things that a lot of people don't, they don't get into it or they quit because they just think that it's too hard or they're not getting the results that they want to get. So, and that's facts. Troll Patrol with the Dak situation. I feel Howie Roseman stepped on the hoofs. You picked Lamb, you get Hurts. Game of chess. It is a game of chess. And I honestly think the Cowboys wanted Jalen Hurts, just like the Cowboys wanted Dallas Goedert, and then the Eagles picked him. So you guys definitely steal each other's picks every single year because a lot of times you guys are looking for the same type of talent or same type of players. It's almost funny and comical, but the rivalry runs really deep with the Cowboys and Eagles, and that's probably one of my favorite rivalries in all of the NFL. I think I like that one even more than Bears-Packers. Even Niners-Seahawks is one of my probably top two, but I think Eagles-Cowboys to me is my favorite out of the whole entire league. It's just when you watch them play, you can just see the hate and the animosity that they have for each other. But you usually get some great football in those matchups with the Seahawks and the Eagles, Seahawks and the Niners and the Eagles and the Cowboys. Every year, it doesn't matter who the quarterbacks are or who the coaches are. It's just lit. And obviously, I like watching Saints games, and they rival up. But usually, it's not a rivalry with the Saints because they just beat the shit out of everybody. You can't say the Saints and Bucs are rivals because they just beat the shit out of us all the time. Saints-Falcons, they beat the shit out of them all the time, too. You know what I mean? Panthers, you know what I mean? Maybe that's the biggest rival for the Saints in the division. But, I mean, obviously, you have the Saints and the Rams with a little rivalry with that NFC Championship game. And obviously, some great matchups with the Saints and the Niners. And that matchup was great, but not really a rivalry. There's not really a lot of hate there. Probably the most hate is the Rams, I would assume, just because of the way that game ended. And then the refs were just, so biased not calling that pass interference. But that's another day. We're going to move past that. And hopefully we can get Drew Brees another Super Bowl before it's all said and done. Jameson Meza trying to do a super chat, but it keeps invalidating the super chat for some reason. I don't know. If you just use a debit card and then you end up putting in your information, it should be able, as long as you have money on your card and you just follow the instructions for the super chat, you should be able to put a dollar amount and then a comment if you want to. So I imagine it'll go through at some point, or you can ask Calvin Griffin or Sir Luke or these other guys that usually do it on a regular basis. But just you even mentioning that you were thinking about doing it, appreciate you very much. Official Young Nola, yo, what to do, my guy? Something happened to my internet and fucking cut out. And then the amazing fans were like, oh, you're still here? Bang, 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 donation. And we've just been talking life. We've been talking NFL. We've been talking Dak, Derrick Henry, the Washington cheerleader scandal, and all of the above. That's crazy. I love you guys. Honestly, NWSF has more fans than the Chargers do. That might be true. But you know what? I am excited to see what the Chargers can do. And let's not sleep on Derwin James. He's one of the best safeties in football. My favorite's Jamal Adams from the Jets. He's my favorite. I like Kevin Byard a lot. I love Derwin James. Hopefully he can stay healthy. But they've silently been building an amazing defense. Their offense isn't as good as their defense, kind of like the Redskins, the Chargers, right? But Austin Eckler is amazing, very underrated. We'll see Tyrod Taylor and Justin Herbert. Keenan Allen is the most underrated wide receiver in the NFL. So don't be shocked if the Chargers come, for a playoff spot sooner or later. It may not be a 12-4 year like they had with Phillip Rivers a couple years ago, but I like the direction that the Chargers are going. Not going to be as good as the Chiefs and the Chiefs Kingdom, but they can definitely compete with Denver and the Raiders, and they could be that number 2 team in the AFC West, personally. Official NOLA. They don't know about Warren Sapp. Yeah, they do. Some of them do. I'm a baby face, even though I'm old as shit. You know what I mean? Some of them know Warren Sapp. Come on, man. Brees is a bit allergic to postseason besides some of the weird stuff that has happened in those games. I don't think he's allergic. I think it's the offensive line has let them down. If you really look at those 3 games, the Minneapolis Miracle, the game against the Rams, and the NFC Championship game, it's been really coaching Sean Payton and the offensive line personally. I think, picking when to put in certain play calls. Should have went with Taysom Hill towards the end of that game, and you went Drew Brees, and then he fumbled. The play calling has been sketchy at times. The referee officiating has been horrible at times, and then bad luck. With the Minneapolis Miracle just jumping that route and Diggs making an amazing play. It just wasn't their day. But sometimes when you lose, it makes you stronger. But when you lose once, twice, 3 times a row in such a dramatic fashion, sometimes it's not like a curse, but it weighs on you, and then they start pointing fingers and blaming people that they shouldn't be blaming. You just got to focus on yourself and trying to get the job done. But sometimes when you have 3 emotional losses where they should have really won all 3 of those fucking games, the Saints should have had a Super Bowl by now. Let's be real. I'm a Bucs fan, but I can honestly say Minneapolis Miracle, bullshit with the Rams, right? And then obviously with the matchup that they had last year with the Vikings, they should have won at least 2 out of those 3, if not 3 out of those 3 in those games. Last play towards the end of the game, Minneapolis Miracle. When does that shit happen? It's like once every 50 years, crazy shit like that happens, right? Then you had the bullshit no call. That's the one I feel that they should have won the most, the one against the Rams. They should have went all the way that year and won that one. And then if they would have played the Patriots, I think there would have been a great shot that even though it would have been tough, that they could have won that year. And then last year, with Danielle Hunter and Everson Griffin, and Kirk Cousins, it showed it doesn't really matter as much on the offensive side of the ball, but if they have 2 elite pass rushers and your O-line can't hang, even with Drew Brees, Hall of Famer, Michael Thomas, future Hall of Famer, Alvin Kamara, AK-41 the Alien, probably a future Hall of Famer, Jared Cook, and all those other pieces that you had, the O-line just didn't measure up to Everson Griffin and Danielle Hunter, and it showed. And they made huge plays at the end of the game, but they've addressed it with McCoy from A&M and Ruiz from Michigan. So I'm excited. They actually listened. They didn't go for Justin Jefferson. They got, a different piece in Emmanuel Sanders. It was the smart move. It wasn't the sexy move. It wasn't the splashy move. It wasn't the Sports Center move, but it was the analytical Northwest Sports Fanatic move. It's the move that I would have made, if I was, part of the war room in the Saints. And I'm sitting there next to Sean Payton, and he said, what should we do? Should we go for an offensive weapon, like a wide receiver or, a defensive player? No, it's that O-line. It's that one position that always gets overlooked, besides defense and certain defensive pieces, but O-line, it's just not sexy. But when you think about it, it does everything. It's like the rims and wheels to the car. If you don't have wheels and rims on your car, you're not going anywhere. You need guys to be able to pass block. You guys need guys to run block. You guys need guys that can pull. You need versatility, guys that can play more than one position. Left tackle, right tackle, left guard, right guard, maybe play some center. These things are so valuable because when you have great O-line, you don't even need to have great wide receivers, tight ends, or quarterback because those guys will end up elevating their games because they'll have more time in the pocket and they'll have bigger holes to run through. You don't need to have elite wide receivers, tight ends, quarterbacks. You just need to have guys that are average or good. And then if you have an elite O-line, they will raise their play based off the O-line. O-line's super important. That's probably why it's one of the my favorite positions in the NFL because it's not a glorified position. I'm a linebacker guy first, right? Middle linebacker, outside linebacker first, and then offensive line guy second. Those are the positions that I love because they don't really get the pub and the love that they deserve. The linebacker guys do, like a Khalil Mack or like a Ray Lewis or Brian Urlacher, B-Wags, Bobby Wagner, Luke Kuechly. Some of those guys, get love. TJ Watt is one of my favorites, that's in the league, rolling around and making plays. But it's just kind of nice to be able to see some guys get recognition. And I love Quentin Nelson. He's the best offensive lineman in the NFL. And we'll see if he's the 5th 99 tomorrow. I'm hoping he is. Either him, Bobby Wagner, or Michael Thomas. We'll have to wait and see. Official Nola, beast. You are a beast. Jameson, you're a Nebraska fan? All right, well, we're already going to be friends already because I'm a Levante David guy. As a Nebraska Cornhuskers fan, Levante David has a nonstop motor as he showed first for the Cornhuskers who plays for your Buccaneers. And I don't know if you've ever seen the show, Jameson, but he's my favorite player. I got a jersey in the closet. I usually wear it once a week. I love Levante David. Like I said, he's been one of my favorite players from Nebraska, second rounder. And I'm a Derrick Brooks guy. He's my all-time favorite Buccaneer of all time, Derrick Brooks, right? But my number 2 is Lavonte David, because I like linebackers, and he's just one of those guys. He's the most underrated linebacker, I feel, in the NFL. He never gets pub, but now since we're going to be on TV primetime 5 times this year, and when he punches out those footballs like Charles Peanut Tillman or intercepts the football like Luke Kuechly used to, people are going to be like, wow, Lavonte David's actually pretty good. Like, he can get over 100 tackles a year. He can get 5 picks. He can get 5 sacks. He can get pressures. He can get tip balls. I mean, he's an all-around great player. It's just that he just doesn't get the proper love that he should. So that's awesome, man. I haven't had too many people that are Nebraska Cornhusker fans. I mean, your heyday was in the 90s, back in the day when Nebraska had their run in college football. But I've always respected Lavonte David, and that's why he is my favorite player in the NFL. Awesome, man. All right, Jameson, let's go, baby. All right, Too Fast 49. Yeah, since last year, our Niners defense turned into a defensive fan. I just see Nick Bosa rushing with D Ford, DeForest Buckner, Eric Armstead pushing linemen back. Yeah, and even though Buckner's gone, right, think about how beneficial that trade was, right? Because even though Buckner and Armstead and Bosa and Ford would have been amazing, if you would have known, right, that Deebo Samuel was going to have this injury, now look how important Brandon Ayuk is to that Niner offense. He's going to be like Deebo Samuel, but better. Can you imagine that? And Deebo Samuel was amazing last year. Kyle Shanahan is really going to work him, and I could really see him making a lot of plays and, maybe hitting the end zone 6-7 times this season as a rookie, and it could be as high as maybe 8 or 9. He's that talented. So even though Buckner was a better player than Ayuk, right, but you had a little flexibility there because you had Armstead, you had Ford, and you had Bosa. But on the wide receiving core, you have Kittle, who's kind of like a wide receiver even though he's tight end, right? But then the wide receiving core was a little thin. So now to be able to have that happen, it was actually a blessing in disguise, because you couldn't afford everybody. And that's what happens after you win a Super Bowl. But those 4 on the field together were amazing. But the main reason that you guys took the big leap, the Niners, let's be real, it was Nick Bosa. Nick Bosa has that Chase Young effect, and I don't think necessarily that Chase Young is going to be able to get the Washington Red Tails, Red Wolves, Redskins, to the same position that the Niners were in. But Nick Bosa, just like Joey Bosa and Chase Young, those Ohio State pass rushers, they're on a whole nother level. And without him, you guys never would have gone as far as you guys did, let alone the Super Bowl. Amazing, amazing talent. And crazy to think, Nick Bosa is better than his brother Joey. That's saying a lot. They're both great. But Nick's a little bit better, in my opinion. That's facts. Washington Man Bear Pigs. Could you imagine if that was the name? Jameson says, stop leaving the Titans out as a championship contender because we beat the brakes off the Ravens. True. You know what I mean? I don't think anyone's really doubting them. You know what I mean? It was just shocking to see, them play the Patriots and beat Brady, right? Them to go in and then beat the Ravens. But if you got to think, if you stop Mark Ingram, you stop the Ravens. Mark Ingram, he was really the catalyst of that team. Everyone wanted to give Lamar Jackson all the credit, but once Mark Ingram slowed down with the injury and they weren't getting a lot of yards from him, then Lamar, they could kind of cheat a little bit. They could throw 8 or 9 in the box, and then you saw what happened. The end result is that Lamar couldn't really use his feet because they took better angles, and he couldn't really throw the football the way he wanted. He couldn't thread the needle like Mahomes because he's not fucking Patrick Mahomes. And they're really they have an amazing coach, Vrabel. Patriot ties with the Titans. So I always root for them. So I can, that's cool that you're a diehard Titan fan. We have a couple on the channel that will come through from time to time. So, but I don't think anyone's sleeping on them. Like I said, I think they have a great shot to win the AFC South. And if they make the AFC Championship game, no shocker. If they ended up representing in the Super Bowl in the next 3 years, I don't think anyone would be that shocked, personally. You got Tannehill, he plays like a top 10 quarterback, even though he's not a top 10. Love him. Henry, top 5 running back in the league. Awesome. Best young wide receiver in the league in A.J. Brown, even though Scary Terry McLaurin and DK Metcalf are very close behind. And then obviously Deebo Samuel and a few others, right? Defense is nice. You got good pieces. I like them. Big Jim Cruz, fly, Eagles fly. Washington bums. Like that? Just like that, huh? Okay. We know he's an Eagles fan. Too Fast 49, don't leave out Deebo Samuel. I won't, big guy. Come on, man. It's your boy, the Northwest Sports Fanatics, Orion. Come on, man. Like in the NFC, it's a lot of competition. It is. Deebo is so underrated, but you know what it is? It's not that Deebo's underrated, but who made Deebo? Did Deebo make Deebo? Not from Friday, Deebo. Right? My grandmama gave me that chain, right? That's my bike, fool. That's my bike, punk, right? Debo was made by Kyle Shanahan and his amazing play calling. So Nick Bosa helped that defense, but people don't realize that Kyle Shanahan and Sean McVay from the Rams, and Kyle Shanahan, even though that he's got the reputation of getting teams, the Falcons and the Niners, the Super Bowl, but he can't do it in the big time, that's bullshit. I still love me some Kyle Shanahan. His dad, Mike, was a legend, got some Super Bowls for Denver, always talks to him all the time, but he's a genius. He literally you could argue that Kyle Shanahan is one of the smartest NFL coaches that we've seen in the last 15 years. Yeah, there's been some bad luck and some bad play calling on his end, and you played tough teams. When you were on the Falcons, you played the fucking Patriots and Tom Brady. There's no frowning or crying to that. I mean, that's tough, right? And then you end up playing fucking Patrick Mahomes. Tough. Fucking two of the best quarterbacks of all time. Tough. You know what I mean? How many people would be able to beat those teams? I still have a lot of respect for Kyle Shanahan. Great, great coach. And like I said, I got Niner ties in my blood, so I definitely, root for them, especially when my Bucs aren't playing. That's facts. How will the NFL season be with the seats be covered? That's a good question. I imagine that they won't have fans, maybe cardboard cutouts like they're going to be doing for MLB. It'll be no fans there. Or if they can come to an agreement where they do have fans, right, then they'll have to sign a COVID waiver or have maybe fans split apart. So instead of having fans directly next to each other, maybe there'll be open seats to the left or right of you. So instead of having 20,000 fans in a stadium, maybe it'll be 10. And maybe they will only allow so many seats where you're not sitting next to someone on the left or right. That would be something they could do. At least that way you would have fan, participation there. You could still have people tailgating and then they could go home or watch it at a bar or something. But, I mean, that would be something that I could, bring up to some of the NFL people if they haven't thought of that idea already. But if you're not going to go all in with all the fans or no fans, how about having limited seating? Instead of having 20,000, how about half? How about 10? You know what I mean? And then have it a little bit more spread out. So at least you can get that crowd noise. And then you have everyone wear masks, or if you want masks and gloves, whatever. You know what I mean? And that people can drink their beer and, eat their popcorn and hot dogs and corn dogs and have a good time. I mean, I'd be down with that if they're so worried about COVID and the safety. They should do that for baseball and NBA, honestly, too. Just have people spread out a little bit more, and not have people so close to each other. That would be an effective way to make things work where you can make the players happy, the fans happy, and the owners happy, right? I don't know. That's just my thinking. I don't know if anyone's thought of that. Hoping the Titans pick up Clowney. Tighten up! 22, another Titans fan in the building. What'd it do? Awesome, man. I love seeing new fans or fans that have been part of the channel come through or come back. Awesome, yeah. Clowney, the number one option for him is the Titans, and then second would be the Seahawks. So we'll see what he does. Does he want money, or does he want to go back to where he was comfortable last season? I don't think he really feels any loyalty to Russell Wilson, Pete Carroll, and the Seahawks. So I honestly feel the Titans would be the best fit for him. They could really use him there. He would be a force. His stats were a little down last season from years past, but if you have a Jadeveon Clowney on your team, that's like getting Ndamukong Suh on my Buccaneers from the Rams. I mean, I didn't think that was going to happen, and when it did, I was like, wow. I mean, he's a really dirty player. Clowney has been linked to be a little dirty with the, obviously, Carson Wentz hit. We know that, right? But he hasn't traditionally been that big of a dirty player. I mean, I remember that hit he had on Michigan where he blew up that guy, the running back, and his helmet flew off like 10 feet behind him, and he picked up the fumble with one hand and scooped it up. So, I mean, he's always made amazing plays, but we'll see if the money is right for the Titans or the Seahawks or whoever decide to grab him. But whoever does get him is definitely going to have an X factor on their roster next season if he can stay healthy. Raiders made him a low ball offer, but he's injured a lot. Yeah, and I think he wants to go to a contender. Not saying that the Raiders suck or anything like that, because, I mean, I'm a Buccaneer fan, so you know what I mean? But I honestly feel that he wants to go to a team that more than likely was a playoff team last year or a team that has a chance to be a divisional winner, like right now. So that means Titans, Seahawks. I mean, I know the Browns were kind of whispered and rumored because a little bit of that money, but I'm not sure if that would be a fit. But think about Clowney and Myles Garrett together. That duo would be insane. Talk about Danielle Hunter and Everson Griffin causing havoc on the New Orleans Saints last season. Imagine Myles Garrett on one side, Jadeveon Clowney on the other. Holy shit. That's Sack City, baby. Sack City could be, instead of Suplex City like Brock Lesnar, Sack City. They can make T-shirts for them too, but I don't really see that happening. I don't see him going to the Browns. Big Jim Cruz, Fly Eagles Fly. What'd it do? He said, Dallas sucks. Oh, Jon Gruden talking sports in the building. Finally, he's in the building. Washington cheerleader scandal. Dak Prescott, Derrick Henry, a reaction with your boy Ryan and the Northwest Sports Fanatics. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. Smash that fucking like button either now or on your way out. Donate to your boy either on here, patreon.com, or our GoFundMe. And if you're looking for merch, Northwest Sports Fanatic merch, link is below every video on our YouTube page. Jon Gruden, what to do? I know you're excited about your Nats. End up playing the Yankees, opening day. I'm excited for that. This whole Washington Redskin, Red Tails, Red Wolves situation with Dan Snyder and the name change and the cheerleaders is a little disappointing. But, we'll see what happens with the Nats and, see what happens with the MLB. And hopefully that we get a lot of Chase Young and he wins Defensive Rookie of the Year. So and you got Riverboat Ron there. A lot to be excited about. Scary Terry McLaurin. Maybe Darius Guice can stay healthy for the full season. And we can see, obviously, your boy, the quarterback, see Haskins develop into the player that we want him to be. Got to wait and see, though. Jameson, yes, A.J. Brown is a beast. Should have won the Offensive Rookie of the Year last year. Jomo, go Chargers. All the fans in the building. Appreciate you guys. Says, I don't believe in Herbert, too inconsistent for me. Yeah, you know what, Javon, though? But you haven't, come on, man. Come on, man. You feel me? You feel me? You know who you're talking to? Bro? You know who you're talking to? I mean, I've seen this guy front row behind the duck bench. You know what I'm saying? I'm telling you, he's better than Marcus Mariota, better than Joey Harrington. He can go down in history as one of the best quarterbacks that Oregon has produced besides Dan Fouts. It's going to take him some time, but they said the same shit for inconsistency to who? Josh Allen. He's got a strong arm, right? Overthrew a lot of guys, underthrew a lot of guys. He got Stephon Diggs, great defense. You just got to build the team around Josh Allen like they did in the Bills. Build it around Justin Herbert. And I think that he can have success like Drew Brees did when he was a Charger and Phillip Rivers when he was a Charger. I really think that he's got potential to be better than Marcus Mariota or any other quarterback that Oregon has produced besides maybe Dan Fouts. And ironically, where did he play? On the Chargers back in the day with the original Kellen Winslow. So, I mean, I've watched him up close. You know what I mean? He does have issues with some consistency issues, but he's got the size, he's got the strength, he's got the speed, and the best part about him, he's smart. Really, really smart. He's a really good guy on and off the field. He loves and cares about his teammates, his family, friends. You know what I mean? You can just tell that he'll put in a lot of work. He's never, ever going to get in trouble. I would be shocked if he ever gets in trouble his whole career, unless it's something like a DUI or, he just gets drunk and gets pulled over or something. But other than that, I mean, I can't really see anything really negative about Herbert, and he'll get better with the accuracy, but also you have to have a good O-line to protect you. When you're going against these humongous beasts coming at you, trying to rip your head off. So if they can keep continuing to build the O-line for the Los Angeles Chargers, you'll see Herbert develop, just like Joe Burrow and Tua Tagovailoa. They're going to be great. I think all three are going to be studs. And then on top of that, you got the guy that I like the most coming out next year, Trevor Lawrence. I like Trevor Lawrence more than Justin Herbert, more than Tua Tagovailoa, and even more than Joe Burrow. I think he could be the next Andrew Luck. That's facts. I really love me some Trevor Lawrence, and I'm an Oregon Duck for life. I'm a Justin Herbert for life. You know what I mean? So that shows you how much potential and how much upside I see in Trevor Lawrence. I mean, he could be really the next big thing in the NFL. That's facts. Do I think that Justin Herbert will be good? Of course. Go get him. Come on, man. He will be good. But it'll take a couple years. He's not going to be good right away. And he probably won't even get to start until like week 4 or week 5. If the Chargers are like 2-3 or 1-4, 2-2 with Tyrod, and then they throw him in. It's going to be growing pains the first year. That's facts for Tua, Burrow, and Herbert. It'll be tough. It'll be shocking if any of those teams get to 8 wins. More than likely 8 wins or less for all three. Especially Miami. Miami is probably sitting at 4-6. Bengals probably 4-7. And then Chargers have the best shot to probably get to 8, just because the rest of their roster is a little bit better than Miami or the Bengals. But, we will see. We will see. Panthers would have beat the Saints in 2017 divisional if it weren't for the best wide receiver being Clay. Do anyone in here knows Kalen Clay? Come on, Javon. You're going back to 2017? It's 2020. Come on, man. 2020. DJ Moore, right? Curtis Samuel, Teddy Bridgewater, Derrick Brown. Come on, man. We got to move forward, buddy. We can't be going back. Jomo, that's trouble with 2 elite pass rushers. Damn right. I'm curious if the Chargers might have a package of plays for Easton Sticks. They do. I have actually a couple of really good friends that are Charger fans, and if you watched him play, at all, as one of the backup quarterbacks, he could be kind of like a Jalen Hurts or a Taysom Hill, where you could throw him in for some gimmick plays and you can get some yards. I actually like him a lot. He's just not good enough to beat out Tyrod or Justin Herbert, but I like his versatility and his athleticism. A lot of people don't even know who the fuck Easton Sticks is. But that's cool that you do, you know what I mean? Because I'm a sport fanatic, as you know. So when you throw out names like that, guys that aren't as well known, third-string quarterback, but I follow every team and, offense, defense, backups, coaches. So it's refreshing when you throw out names like that on the channel. I love it. Jomo, how long will Breezy last? 2 years. He's got 2 years left. The sand in the hourglass, that bitch is tipped over. Now you got Brady in the division. They don't like that, right? And all these other competitive teams, in the NFC. The best case scenario for them is if a lot of these quarterbacks leave the NFC in the next couple years to give Brees a better shot. Like if Aaron Rodgers leaves and gets traded next season and goes to the AFC, then that would be one less guy to worry about. You know what I mean? But 2 years is what I think he's got left. So if they don't get it done in 2 years, it's going to be a little bit of a rebuilding process. You can go Taysom Hill, but he's more of that Swiss Army knife. Do you really want him to be the quarterback? And don't tell me you want Jameis Winston as the guy. I know he got LASIK, but even that being said, I don't see him doing anything above and beyond being a backup, quarterback, and that's it. So you might have to draft one in the next couple years after Brees if you don't want Jameis or Taysom Hill. Jameis is a backup. Taysom Hill is kind of like the Swiss Army knife kind of guy, and then maybe draft one or get one in free agency to come around. I always thought if Russell Wilson didn't sign with the Seahawks, that would have been the perfect fit to replace Brees, Russell Wilson on the Saints. Could you imagine the damage you would be able to do? If you had Russell Wilson on the Saints, you could compete with the Chiefs. Play for play. With his skill set and his talent as a second best quarterback in the league, Russell Wilson, the Chiefs are still the best team, but with that Saints roster, with Sean Payton, with Russell Wilson, woo! That would be just unbelievable to watch. But obviously, with Russell, he decided to stay in the Northwest in Washington and do his thing for the Seahawks. So we'll have to wait another day, another contract down the road to see if anything really happens with Russell, if he ends up leaving or not. Big Jim Cruz, what's the best jersey that you wear? I got jerseys of, all my teams. So I got, Damian Lillard's. I got a black one sewn, white one from his rookie season when he first came into the league. I got Ducks jerseys. I got Justin Herbert on right now. I got Marcus Mariota. All my jerseys are sewn too, for the most part. So, because I like the quality of the nicer ones. Marcus Mariota, Herbert. I got a very rare Joey Harrington sewn jersey from 2000, 2001. I got a Black Mamba jersey, DeAnthony Thomas. I got Warren Sapp, Derrick Brooks, Simeon Rice, Keyshawn, Doug Williams, creamsicle orange sewn jersey from back in the day. But my favorites out of all the jerseys that I actually wear, Big Jim, is probably my Ken Griffey Jr. jerseys, because he's my favorite player of all time in any sport. I met him when I was 7, his rookie year in 1989, met him and his dad. I have pictures with him, got autographs on his rookie cards, Don Russ Fleer Upper Deck, if you remember. So I got a gray sewn Griffey, but my most probably prized possession jersey that I have, besides my LaMichael James Natty jersey against Auburn, that's sewn that I have with the patch and the name sewn on the back. I have an old school, was it Rawlings? Remember when Rawlings was the main provider from MLB, the jersey provider back in the mid 90s? I have a 95, 96, 97 Ken Griffey Jr. white, right, jersey, but it's sleeveless. It's a Mariners white sleeveless jersey, and then I actually found a collector that had the turtleneck with the Mariners on the neck part for the turtleneck, the matching set. This shit is rare as hell. You're never going to see that shit on eBay. And like I said, I had to pay a pretty penny. I'm trying to remember how much I ended up paying for it, because it was not a brand new jersey. It was a used jersey, but the guy only wore it a couple times, and then it just sat in plastic in his house with the turtleneck. And so I had probably dropped I don't know how much I dropped. Probably 300, 350, something like that for the sleeveless sewn jersey from the 90s. Mint condition. On top of that with the matching turtleneck. I mean, it's fire. It's like whenever you walk out with it on, I mean, it just blings. Big Seattle Mariners jersey, big Griffey 24, and then it's not like the regular Majestic jerseys that you see now. I mean, this is like one of those old school throwback. It's like a Mitchell and Ness, but better. It's what Mitchell and Ness is supposed to be, with that quality. But it's that original sewn, Rawlings jersey that cost like $300 back then. Brand new. And so, I would have paid $300-400, for that jersey, no problem, with the turtleneck too, just because I'm a collector and, that's my guy. But yeah, I mean, I got a lot. I mean, my jersey collection is probably like 15 to 20 deep. On top of like, football gloves, for the Buccaneers and Oregon Ducks and game used material and all that stuff. But that's probably those two are probably the most special jerseys to me, just because they're Ken Griffey Jr. and that's my favorite. Even though baseball is a little slow, but my dad, he grew up in LA. He's a Dodger guy. He's been watching the Dodgers since the 50s. So anytime the Dodgers come to Seattle, every 5 years for interleague play, we go. So like the last time they came was like a year ago, 2 years ago. There was a 3-game set, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, right? So we ended up going to the Friday and Saturday game, right? And in the first game, we're sitting off first base, maybe like 15 rows up, and a foul ball, right, came one seat next to me, and I reached for it, but they had one of those like nacho helmets where it's like one of those plastic batting helmets with nachos filled in it, and then like a $12 or $13 Coors Light or Miller Lite or whatever, and I reached for it and I didn't get it because I couldn't see under the guy's legs, and then the guy in the row in front of me had more of like a eye view to it, knocked the guy's beer over, $13 can of beer, grabbed the ball. And I was taking pictures of it, and I was like, fuck. And I told my dad that might have been the closest I'll ever have a chance to get a home run ball or a foul ball, or you know what I mean? And then literally the next day, right, first inning, right, the usher walks up and says, watch out, this is like a foul ball area, and we're sitting in a different seat, but we're close to where we sat the night before, right off first base, maybe 15 rows up. And Enrique Hernandez for the Dodgers is up, right? There's like, maybe it's 2-0 in the first inning, hits a foul ball, rips it, right? And I'm third in. So there's like a grandma, a grandpa, me, right? And then the guy in front of me is on the aisle, right, with the bar, right, with a glove on, big ZZ Top beard. And then there's like the rail, and on the opposite side of the rail, the guy's on the the main first seat available, and he's in a LeBron James jersey, so he's a Dodger guy. So both guys, LeBron James jersey, right, and then the ZZ Top beard guy with the mitt, have the best shot to get the ball, right? So the guy with the mitt, right, puts his hand up, the ball hits the mitt, right, and he drops it. Then he goes down to his stomach, right, puts his mitt out, drops it again. So literally the ball goes into the mitt twice, falls onto the ground. I slide past the grandma and grandpa, reach down with my left hand and grab it, and I got shorts on, right? And the guy bull rushes me behind on the concrete steps to see if I'll drop it. My knees are just fucking gushing with blood, but I got the baseball. So, I mean, that's a great memory. A lot of people aren't really that lucky when they go to sporting events. I've been extremely lucky with meeting professional athletes, getting autographs, getting baseballs, footballs, basketball, whatever it is. But I always end up having really amazing luck, with professional athletes or AAA ball clubs. And that was a great memory because not only was it a Dodger player, that's my dad's favorite team. I would rather have gotten a Dodger foul ball than a Mariner foul ball because, I'm a real big Dodgers guy for my dad, and we watch Dodger games together. And, it's one of those things. He only follows the Dodgers, but he watches like every game. So it's like 162 normal regular season. He watches them all. Think about how much dedication that is. Doesn't really follow the Ducks that much unless I'm watching them. So then he'll watch maybe half of the Ducks games in the season, maybe like 3 or 4 or 5, right? And then no Blazer games, doesn't care about that, but all the Dodger games, and, knows all the players, watches all the games, has the package, extra innings, and watches it on his laptop. And whenever they're on TV, like on ESPN or whatever, I'll come over on Sunday Night Baseball and we'll barbecue or eat burgers, dogs, or ribs, and watch the game together. And it's fun. It's a nice little father-son bonding time. But to be able to get that baseball really kind of juiced up my excitement for MLB because I always liked it, but then to actually get a piece of memorabilia when you're at the game. And I like to go to Mariner games too for like the bobbleheads. So when they do like Ken Griffey Jr. bobblehead night, or Ichiro bobblehead night, or Edgar Martinez Hall of Fame bobblehead night, I go. So I bring my friends with me. We'll get drunk, walk around, and they got like Griffey bats, Randy Johnson gloves, and Ichiro bobblehead stuff that you can see in the stadium, where you can actually touch some of the memorabilia, like touch a Griffey bat that he actually hit home runs in, or Ichiro's gloves or whatever. It's pretty dope the way that no longer Safeco, but T-Mobile is built. It's one of the newer, ballparks in the last 20 years. Really nice. It's always a fun experience. And then we usually get a really fancy hotel. You can see the Seahawks stadium and the Mariners, and there's like the bay, so you can see like the water. We're usually up like 20 floors up, and we just split the hotel. But that's one of the fun things for me. Like I always like going to Seahawk games or Mariner games because Seattle's just a great town for sports. A lot of passionate fans out there, but the memories that I create when I'm out there is awesome. So that's kind of my story as far as like Ken Griffey Jr., Mariners, Dodgers, and what's going on there. But yeah, I'm excited, man. You know what I mean? That's the jersey talk for me, and I'll end up wearing probably a different jersey almost every live stream or show that I do. That's what I'm kind of known for, with the different memorabilia, shoes. I'm a sneakerhead, jersey guy, that type of thing. Big Jim Cruz, you're the man. Jomo, Raiders get a quarterback. Watch out. Well, you already got Marcus Mariota, right? So that means that Derek Carr just needs to sit on the bench, and then they'll see what they can get from him. That's my personal advice for them. Javon Wright, Brian Burns, Spider Burns. I love him. Ooh, Josh Allen, the Jaguars pass rusher. I love him too. I think both guys are great. I love Josh Allen, the pass rusher, not necessarily the quarterback for the Buffalo Bills, but the other Josh Allen that's on the Jags. Love him. And Spider Burns is great too. Very underrated. Oh, Jameson, you have seen the show before? Awesome. Javon Wright. Hell no, Joey Bosa over Nick. Disagree, my guy. Come on, Javon. You got to watch more football than just your Panthers, my guy. Did you see how Nick Bosa just changed that franchise? He took them all the way to the Super Bowl based off his play. Joey Bosa has never done that. And both guys are injury prone. The Bosas are. Both of them. But, I mean, let's look at the stats. Nick is better. That's facts. Too Fast 49. Yeah, that trade was smart because we would have had to pay D-Buck and Kittle. Instead, we get 2 picks and replace D-Buck and get a good wide receiver to pair with Debo. And you might end up giving a monster contract to Kittle, like a wide receiver money contract instead of tight end money. He's worth it. He's going to be the highest paid tight end sooner than later, George Kittle, and he's worth it. Amazing talent, and you got really lucky getting a guy like that that's humble, that has that father-son relationship with his dad, but just a fun player to watch. And once Travis Kelce is gone or a few years older, it will be the George Kittle show as the best tight end in football, and it won't even be close because right now it's Kelce, Kittle, Zach Ertz, but then you got Ebron and Evan Ingram and Darren Waller and Jared Cook and Mark Andrews. That's all the top of the head right there. All these tight ends that are pretty beast mode. Right, I'm not even including Gronk in the conversation, but we'll see where it goes. Where's Mark Sanchez? Come on, Javon, stop trolling. Said Burns is good, but not better than Allen, and yeah, I think Nick is better than Joey. That's facts, man. And you don't even need to be a 49er fan. Said I didn't see that Washington burn, Big Jim, but I just laughed my ass off. Okay, Raiders. Facts, bro. Kyle is really good, and yes, the Super Bowl. Yeah, but he's amazing. I agree, man. And like I said, I really break down the film and the play calling, and I do a lot of reading, team websites. I like to go on, other people's Twitters that are fans of those teams, Instagrams, you know what I mean, to be able to get the fan base and really get that, deep information. Like Niner fans know that Fred Warner is an amazing player and he's underrated. But how many people outside of, obviously the 49ers, right, who know who Fred Warner is? Very, very little. You know what I mean? But if you're a sports fanatic, like myself and some of us in the room, we know who he is. You know what I mean? And that's why people love this channel, because I like to go deeper than just the obvious, than the Von Millers or the Khalil Macks. Of course we know those guys are good. But what about the lower name guys that really have produced and did a little bit more than expected? That's what I like. Offensive linemen, defense, linebackers, kind of those, underlining guys that don't get a lot of credit. J.J. Trilla, we damn boys in the building. Wentz is so elite, they built a full statue for him. Oh, JJ, you always crack me up. Cowboys in the building. What to do, my guy? Lenny D says, Dak can't even get a contract. Here it goes. Cowboys, Eagles. JJ, Cowboys. Lenny D, Eagles. Lenny D, Eagles. JJ, Cowboys. I don't know what's more entertaining for me on this channel. Is it JJ Trilla and Lenny D talking shit back and forth, or me actually watching the Eagles and the Cowboys play football? I don't know. It's pretty close, but every time the conversations go, it's very comical. I love it. It's something that I can go back and read on and on and on. Man, I love it. Big Jim Cruz, the kid, was awesome. I don't know if you saw Junior, the documentary on MLB Network. I thought that was just as good as the Jordan documentary. I mean, it wasn't as long. It wasn't 10 episodes that were an hour each. It was about 2 hours long. I loved it. It was awesome. The vest was a good look. I love it, man. I'll wear it in one of these next live streams so you can check it out, but I'll probably wear it to work tomorrow, actually. I was actually thinking about that. I mean, it's just a slick fucking jersey. The nicest one that I own, and like I said, it's probably the most expensive too, the cutoff jersey. I mean, you don't see too many cutoff baseball jerseys, but as far as jerseys are concerned, football, basketball jerseys, they're nice with like Mitchell and Ness and the sewn ones through Reebok and Nike. But I think personally, like baseball and hockey jerseys are like the best quality. I don't own a hockey jersey, but if I were to, it would be like, Gretzky or Mario Lemieux, Sidney Crosby, Ovechkin, and the certain guys, Brett Hull. I watched hockey back when I was younger. But the quality of those jerseys is amazing, but something about baseball jerseys, Mitchell and Ness, or those old Rawlings jerseys, they're really high quality. Like, I feel baseball jerseys last a lot longer, and they look more fashionable, and they're nicer than the basketball and the football. Like, you can just wear them with more clothes, and it just looks better. Maybe that's just me, but let's see here. Let's a lot of shit talking back and forth. Big Jim Cruz says, your old man sounds like my old man. That's awesome, man. Yeah, big, if I ever show videos, like if I can do a live stream from my dad's house, he's got like a man cave. And he's got Sandy Koufax, Don Drysdale, Duke Snyder, Clayton Kershaw. I mean, all these famous players from like the 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s to current, autograph photos, baseballs, newspaper clippings, just rare photos, figures that I bought him, like just all kinds of knickknacks and crazy things. Like, he's got an amazing, because I don't know if you guys know, but I'm a huge sport memorabilia collector, figure collector, starting lineup, McFarlane collector, bobblehead collector, glass collector, with like sporting, action guys like NFL players on glasses, Blazer glasses, things like that, collectible stuff. But my dad, once he started seeing me collect, he started getting into it because he's kind of an antique guy and he collects a lot. And then obviously he got the bug for me, and his collection of Dodger stuff is just off the chain because he doesn't collect anything else besides Dodger stuff. So I actually have gotten him quite a few, presents over the years, but it's really easy for me to be able to go through because I know as long as it's Dodgers and it's rare and it's unique, he's going to love it. So that's usually what I try to go for. Let's see here. Big Jim says, why aren't you a Seahawks fan? Great question. So I live in Oregon, so obviously I'm a Duck fan, right? I live in Oregon. I'm a Blazer fan. I live in Oregon. I'm a Mariner fan because of Ken Griffey Jr. All makes sense, right? But I was a Niner kid growing up, Joe Montana, Jerry Rice, and whatnot. But the Seahawks, when I was younger, they didn't have the offense or defense back then. They had like Cortez Kennedy, Dave Craig, Steve Largent. They had some talent. Kurt Warner, but not the Kurt Warner with the K, Kurt Warner with the C, the running back. So, they didn't really have the players, that I like. I liked Walter Jones and Steve Hutchinson, when he came over from Minnesota, but they just didn't have enough, guys that I liked on defense, and I'm a defensive-oriented guy. I'm a linebacker guy, you know what I mean? So they didn't really have that type of talent that I was looking for. So I never really had a connection with them. So I figured, if I'm not going to be a Joe Montana, Jerry Rice, Steve Young kind of guy, I just kind of had a feeling in 94 that was going to be the Niners' last Super Bowl for a while, just because you had 4 with Joe Montana and the Bill Walsh era, and then you went to George Seifert, and then you had the Steve Young and Dion, and then Dion left. I just had a feeling that, they didn't have the defensive guys. They had Ken Norton, Merton Hanks. Remember the chicken dance that he used to do? Loved him, right? But I was more of a Derrick Brooks guy from Florida State. I'm more of a Warren Sapp from the U, a Rondé Barber guy, a John Lynch kind of guy, physical, hard-hitting, a guy that can lay the wood, get picks, get some huge fucking sacks, pick sixes, you know what I mean? Those are my kind of guys. And then on the offensive side of the ball, Mike Allstott. That's my guy. Physical, built like a fullback, played like a running back. You're never going to see another one like him. So there was certain characteristics of football players that that were drawn to me. And obviously when Sapp and Brooks got drafted in '95, that was it. So when I was 13, That's when I made the choice. But up to 13 years old, from 5 to 12, it was San Francisco 49ers all day. I just loved Joe Montana. Still to this day, Joe Montana, Jerry Rice, Steve Young, John Taylor, Tom Rathman, Roger Craig. I can go on and on and on with the roster. Dwight Clark. Do I need to keep going? Obviously, you can tell the fandom is there. And that's facts. Trilla said, not really. Jerry offered him a decent deal. How is he going to pay more than Wilson, who has a Super Bowl, when he had the best for us? He's really good, but satisfied playing with what he wants. He just wants a 4-year deal, JJ. You know that. Instead of the 5-year deal Jerry Jones wanted to give him, Jerry's World, he wants 4. So then he has the leverage to be able to make another payday sooner than later and not be locked in. Warner is so underrated. Fred Warner, see? Your boy knows. Your boy knows football. That's facts. Javon, y'all remember when Orion called Warner being a breakout player last offseason? Do you remember that? I did. You know what I mean? I did the breakout players. I do my research. And I said Michael Gallup was going to be, Chris Godwin. If you go back and look at the videos, I said that those guys were going to break out. Told you guys, man, your boy does the research. Hey, guy, thanks for the stream, Orion. Time for bed. Working the EM. Yeah, I know. I called Mike Allstott's fumble at the vet back in the day. Man. And those memories, there was a lot of games where the Eagles had the Bucs number. They just kept beating the shit out of them. Donovan McNabb over and over and over. And I really respected the Eagles. But then I finally got you, when I ended up having Jon Gruden. But that NFC championship game with Rondé getting that pick on Donovan McNabb, it was really, really huge, for our organization. We needed that. And I really, think about how great you guys were for so many years, so many NFC championships, and all the pain that you guys had by not getting to the Super Bowl. And then you got to the Super Bowl with T.O., but he gave you all he had, right? But it was just a tough matchup, against the Patriots. And more than likely they cheated, just like they did, when they played the Rams in 01 and then the Panthers in 03 when they played you in 04, right? But then you ended up getting big, slick Nick, right? And then you ended up having that happen. And think about the crying and the emotion when you guys finally got it. It was worth it. It would have been, awesome to win it with Donovan, with T.O. that year, right? But to actually have to go through the pain and the trials and tribulations and then to have Carson Wentz and then have him go down. That's like a fucking movie. The whole, Philly, Nick Foles, picking up J.J., you know what I'm saying? Like, it all ended up working out. Getting fucking Chip Kelly, having him fuck up your team, right, with the Jeremy Maclin, LaShawn McCoy, and D-Jax, and just breaking up, the roster, right? And everyone was so pissed at Chip Kelly. If it wasn't for my Oregon Ducks and Chip Kelly, the Super Bowl with Carson Wentz and everything, they wouldn't have happened. You know what I mean? And he fucked up the Niners too, right? And yeah, you could say fuck Chip Kelly, right? But without Chip Kelly coming in and breaking up the roster, you guys never would have won the Super Bowl. So in essence, you shouldn't really be like fuck Chip Kelly, Lenny D. You should actually praise him and be thankful that he came to your team, even though he made decisions that were tough, that weren't fan-friendly with LaShawn McCoy and Jeremy Maclin. You know what I mean? He's a college kind of guy, but he's never succeeded after he left Oregon. At UCLA, he ain't doing nothing. When he went to the Eagles, he didn't do nothing, or the Niners. But at Oregon, he was a legend. 4 years, 4 straight bowl games, a Natty, a Rose Bowl, Fiesta Bowl. It was great memories for me, right? But sometimes you don't have to think about all the negativity with what he did to with the losses and the drama, right? But the way that he did it, what was so beneficial, because it made you get to a point where the roster was bad, right, or mediocre. So then you got a chance to get Carson Wentz. And then you had Nick Foles. And then everything was just coming together with Fletcher Cox and then, Derek Barnett and Brandon Brooks and all the rest of the roster. So you got to think out of it from a different perspective. I know Eagles fans will want to be, fuck Chip Kelly, that was horrible, this and that. But without Chip Kelly, there is no Super Bowl for the Philadelphia Eagles. And that's facts. You know what I mean? He had to break that team up for you to be able to get to the point to draft Carson Wentz. EDP was the voice for us when dumbass Chip Kelly traded LaShawn McCoy. Yeah, EDP follows me. Yeah, EDP 445, eat that pussy. EDP's funny, man. You know what I mean? He's one of those guys that, through and through, Eagles guy. Eagles fans love him. Always emotional. You know what I mean? But loves his team through and through. Loves Philly sports. I can totally respect that. So it is what it is. Well, it's been a long. EDP is one of the GOATs. I love his passion. Anyone that's got passion for the game, I love that. But I started in the first stream. That one was probably for 45 minutes to an hour on another stream for another hour and 40 minutes, almost 2 hours. So I feel at this point, the AC is not on in the room. If you haven't noticed, I'm sweating my balls off over here. It's hot as shit. I love talking football with you guys. Washington Cheerleaders scandal. Dak, Derrick Henry, a reaction with your boy Ryan, and the Northwest Sports Fanatics. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. Smash that fucking like button either now or on your way out. Donate to your boy if you can. And if you're looking for merch, Northwest Sports Fanatic merch, link is below every video on our YouTube page. So I'm probably going to call it a night because obviously I have some film study to watch. I have Good Morning Football to finish. I have Total Access to finish. I have websites to go to. I have film to watch. So I'm going to do that. And like I said, you guys have a great rest of your night. I'll be back sooner than later, maybe tomorrow or the next day, depending on what stories come up. Big Jim, Javon, Lenny D, JJ, Trilla, if you're in the building, and everyone that ended up donating today. We can go through up here and take a quick look at all the amazing donations that have happened. We got Sir Luke, $5. Sir Luke, $5. Calvin Griffin, $1.99. Calvin Griffin, $1.99. Calvin Griffin. Sir Luke, $10. And that's just in this stream, not even on the other stream from before with Odin's Child, $10 as well. So I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed the live stream and the life talk and the football talk. I'll be back soon. Stay safe. Wash them hands. And like I said, NFL is just right around the corner. Appreciate every single one of you guys. You guys are the best fans on YouTube. Fanatic family. Let's stick together. I'll be back very soon. Love you guys. Appreciate you guys. Peace.